11 Sports presents St. Luke's Sports Medicine Game of the Week.
Andrew S. Light Stadium is the site here in Nazareth for East Penn Conference football action. We got a good one for you, our D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine, a battle of unbeaten teams. And it's the Nazareth Blue Eagles at 4-0, Parkland Trojans at 4-0. Hi and welcome everyone. Al DeCaro alongside Matt Avancho. So glad you could join us on a picture-perfect night here in September. Excited to be here, and it doesn't get much better than this.
This is a great atmosphere for tonight's game. Both teams come in undefeated, and both have eyes on that district championship at the end of the year.
When we look at this matchup, we'll talk about the Parkland Trojans first. Tim Monsman in his 10th year as the head coach, coming off a win against Pleasant Valley 58-13. That was last Thursday, so they had the extra day. TJ Lawrence on the ground does a great job.
And it's not just on the ground with offense, it's also defense. He's their defensive leader on the field. But talking with Coach Monsman, too, it was about their start last week and how they were able to get going right away, and they're going to need that same kind of energy tonight, come out ready to go on all phases of the game.
We talk about the Nazareth Blue Eagles. Tom Falzone now in his 12th year. They're also coming off a big win. That was against Freedom. We had that on D11 Sports, 56-21. Coach's son, Peyton, got injured in that game. We'll talk about that during the broadcast. But one of their key players is a player that played at Parkland before, and that's Marquise Wimberly.
Yeah, Wimberly comes into this game. He's a fantastic athlete, Lehigh Valley. And what he did last week was in the second half, he took that game on his shoulders. He didn't want to have their backup quarterback have to do too much. Wimberly took it upon himself. A lot of plays offensively, a lot of plays defensively. They're going to have to rely on his legs again tonight if they want to come out of here with a win.
Well, no ties in this game, so someone's going to be 5-0. We got a good one. It's Parkland Nazareth, your D11sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine.
You're determined to stay active and enjoy life. Be at your best every day with St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Start here and we'll get you back to doing what you love. With locations throughout the region, including St. Luke's Orthopedic Hospital West End campus, the best place for orthopedic care is always close to home. St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Start here, go farther.
Did you know that every year our nation's hospitals are graded on quality and safety? Did you know this information is publicly available? Did you know that St. Luke's has earned 5 stars for quality and straight A's for safety? St. Luke's is the only PA-based health system and only 1 in 3 health systems in the nation to earn these outstanding recognitions. St. Luke's, the only locally based healthcare network serving as a model for the nation.
Learn what makes you unique with no-cost genetic screening through DNA Answers, a community health research program available through St. Luke's. Learn how your DNA impacts your health and if you are at risk for certain cancers and hereditary high cholesterol, a cause of heart disease. Gaining a better understanding of your genetic health risks can help you and your doctor personalize your care for a healthier future. Health insurance is not required to participate. Learn more at DNAanswers.org.
Back here at Andrew S. Light Stadium, East Penn Conference football action coming your way. Parkland 4-0, Nazareth 4-0. Sidney Mahalik, a Nazareth junior, one of our student reporters, down the field. She talked to both coaches, and let's hear what she had to say.
I'm Sidney Mahalik. I'm a D11 sports intern. I'm here live at Nazareth tonight, and I talked to both coaches from Nazareth and Parkland. First off, Coach Falzone's talking about their defense getting better. And since Peyton Falzone is out, obviously Cooper Madsen had to step up to the plate. They also have a new punter, who is number 80, Parker Kalinowski. Their biggest concern is clock control and keeping the ball. And also, Cooper is being trained by Peyton, and he's a totally different kid than he is last year, which brings me into Parkland. They're worried about Cooper because they have no idea what he's capable of since he hasn't been playing much. Also, they're going to be hitting it inside mostly, but they do have outside plans. Finally, their team has been pretty quiet and focused, so they're ready for tonight's game. Back to you guys.
All right, Sydney, thanks a lot. And, Matt, as we get ready for this matchup, obviously both teams getting their way onto the field. We had a chance to see Nazareth last week in their game against Freedom, and, the offense was moving along pretty well. Let's talk about the injury first to Peyton.
And I think it's a big injury, but like Coach Falzone said at the beginning of the game, it's a matter of their system. They're not just one person. There were a lot of things that Peyton Falzone did for the team offensively that they're now going to kind of divvy up that responsibility in different places. That way it's not putting all the pressure on Cooper Madsen. Allow him to go out and do what he can do. One of the things Coach Falzone said about this is his first real live action. But at the same time we talked, he also had that live action second half last week against Freedom. So he has seen it. He has had that live action, and he played phenomenal in that second half once he got going and got in the groove. Have to see a lot of that tonight as well.
As you look at these both teams, let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by New York Life.
And as we talked about, and Sydney talked about, Parkland, they want to run their balanced offense. They need to be able to attack all areas of the field, both short, long, wide, middle. And they need to limit Wimberly. They can't let him get going and let him start and beat him. For Nazareth on the other side, they have to eliminate mistakes and costly penalties. As you mentioned, they were able to do that very well last week, and it showed in that first half with a huge offensive output. One thing they have been doing defensively is playing physical. They are undersized. They're not the biggest defensive front, the front seven, but they do play physical, and they have to slow down that running game of TJ Lawrence.
Keys to the game brought to you by New York Life. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. When the stadium's courts and fields are quiet and the crowds are gone, St. Luke's Sports Medicine is still at work in athletic training rooms, on sidelines, and at practices, before games and after games. No matter your sport or position, St. Luke's is on your team with the best athletic trainers, performance coaches, physical therapists, orthopedic sports medicine physicians, and surgeons. We'll get you back on your feet and back in the game. St. Luke's is the region's only varsity team in sports medicine. Support for D11Sports.com Game of the Week comes from Michael R. Glovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley in Easton for all your investment needs. Michael R. Glovis at 610-559-6380, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. If you're a student from any District 11 school interested in broadcasting, journalism, or photography, check out D11Sports.com. Follow your dream, get close to the action, take part in our student internship program. For more information, contact your athletic director or reach out to myself or Dave at D11Sports.com. With that, let's take a look at some of the players to watch as we get ready for this game. About 8 minutes away from, and again, you look at two guys that you said, TJ Lawrence could do it offensively and defensively.
And for Parkland, he's going to have to carry the load offensively on the ground. They need him to be more consistent and do a little bit more. However, when they look to bring in their other change of pace backs, that's something Nazareth defense has to be ready for. For Wimberly, he needs to, and Coach Falzone's going to do it. They're going to put him in various positions, get him to different spots of the field, and get the ball to him in various ways. It's not just going to be straight handoffs. You'll see some pitches, screen passes to him, getting him out of the backfield on pass plays. Wimberly has to touch the ball at least 50% of the time, if not more tonight, for Nazareth to be successful.
We're excited for this matchup between these two teams. Been waiting for it since the beginning of the year. Obviously, with the loss of Peyton, things kind of changed. But at the same time, we saw Cooper throw a nice ball and throw a long touchdown pass against Freedom.
He came in the fourth quarter, had a 76-yard touchdown pass, and he hit DiPietro in stride. It was just like having Falzone on the field throwing the ball. He was able to do a lot of the same things. Now, granted, the ball doesn't come off his hand the same way, but he's a young quarterback. He's going to grow into that. He's going to learn. And as we learned on the field, he's getting the teaching that Peyton Falzone's getting from his quarterback's coach. He's getting all that same coaching from Peyton here. So you have to believe with that kind of coaching, he's only going to get better.
And he also has a father that, he was part of this program a little bit. He's sitting in the stands, by the way, on the Nazareth side with the Nazareth shirt. We'll talk to him at halftime. Was wondering what kind of gear he was, and he basically told us, families first, and, he's excited for the game. And I asked him if he was nervous. He said, yes, of course I am.
Absolutely nervous.
Of course I'm nervous. So get ready for both teams to make their way onto the field. When it comes to towing, trailer, auto body repair, experience matters. Let Ironton Auto Body put their 70-plus years of experience to work for you. Locally owned and operated with 24-hour emergency towing and recovery services, along with 24-hour trailer repair. When something goes wrong, don't trust it to anyone. Look no further than Ironton Auto Body. Let our family take care of your family. Call 610-799-3241. Tonight's game also brought to you by Stu's Tire Center, located at 3930 Independence Drive in Schnecksville. In need of new tires, a wheel alignment, or an oil change, stop by Stu's Tire Center or give them a call at 610-799-4298. Locally owned since 1981. A few minutes away from the game, from the start of the game, and Matt, one thing when we look at the schedule for Parkland, and really, this one just stays there, right? We always talk about how the time flies and how we're already in week 5, right? But when you look at weeks 6, 7, and 8, it comes a little bit different for them. You have Allen, Deerfield, Central Catholic, then you at Whitehall, and then finish with Emmaus. So they had Pleasant Valley last week, so the schedule with Nazareth fits right kind of where they want to be.
Absolutely, and I think for Parkland and Coach Bonspin, what you're looking to do out of this game is, and both coaches hinted at it, but they don't say it. It's not so much who wins this game, but it's when they meet the second time, when they meet in the postseason. That's when you want to be ready to go. That's when you want to be firing on all cylinders, and you want to take the W then. Obviously, both teams want to win tonight, and having this week 5, you couldn't have planned this any better in the EPC.
Yeah, no question about it. Also, a shout-out to Messinger Agency, protecting what matters most to you. Just got more affordable with our newly reduced rates. There's never been a better time to make a switch to Allstate. Call or text us today at 610-382-7095 for your free quote, or simply scan the QR code to get started. You're in good hands with Allstate, 610-382-7095. And as I look at it on my screen, a shout-out to his brother, Mason, one of our wrestling announcers. They look like the same guy, But, I said that to Mason, and he said, I'm 20 months older. I said, all right, well, I think your brother definitely looks much younger than that over you. So we're getting ready for this matchup between these two teams. So we're in week 5 of the season. As we look at week 5, there's still some big games going on. There's one going on, a few miles down the road between Emmaus and Easton.
And that's one I think Emmaus right now, they need that game more than anything else. They need to get into a groove. They need to get moving offensively and get some points on the board. They were expecting big things this season, and I think they just haven't gotten there yet. They haven't had that consistency yet in their games. If they can get an upset down at Easton tonight, I think that will bode well for them heading into the second half of the season. And on the other side for Easton, this is really one of your last hurdles before Week 10. In Week 10, you play Nazareth. I mean, granted, you still have Liberty in there. You still have Freedom in there. But they're going to look ahead, and they're going to see Week 10 Nazareth. That's our next big hurdle.
I had a chance to talk to Peyton before the game. He said to me, this is going to be really hard. And I said to him, you know what, you just got to do what you do and just, pass that along, kind of. It's easier said than done, but when you're doing this for so long and all of a sudden you're the guy, but you can't be the guy.
And I think it comes down to it's something new. It's something fresh. He's been the starting quarterback for a long time now, and even before that, when he's playing in other levels, he's been the quarterback for this team, and now he needs to find a way to support his team in another way. And with being a coach's son, he's going to find that way, and he's going to be able to be eyes for Cooper Madsen off the field while Cooper's on the field.
Right now, we pause in Honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Thank you.
Nazareth leads for the first time.
Moments away from kickoff between these two teams. And as I always do, the district standings there in the 6A class. Easton at 4-0. Nazareth 4-0. Liberty 3-1. Parkland 4-0. Pocono Mountain West. I think you had them yesterday, did you not?
Did, yes.
Okay.
They won to go 4-1.
Yep. Northampton and Emmaus are 2-2. Freedom at 1-3. Allen at 3-1. Stroudsburg and Deerhoff. In the 5A class, it's Whitehall, Pocono Mountain East at 3-1. East Stroudsburg South and Pleasant Valley at 1-3. The 4A class, Southern Lehigh, the only undefeated team at 4-0. Bethlehem Catholic at 3-1. Central Catholic at 2-2. Blue Mountain 1-3. Pottsville and Lehighton and Jim Thorpe all at 2-2. Wilson at 0-4. East Stroudsburg North at 0-5 and Bangor at 0-4. 1A class, Marion Catholic leading that charge at 4-0. And in the 2A class, 2 undefeated still, Palisades and Williams Valley, and a crazy game last night between Minersville and Schuylkill Haven. That was a shootout, without question. Put up a lot of points last night. 48-38 final in favor of Schuylkill Haven. They're now 5-0. And in the 3A class, Notre Dame at 4-0, as is Northwestern, North Schuylkill, and Salisbury at 2-2. So kind of have all the particulars going into tonight's game. Around. We have some student reporters out and about, so we'll have some coverage throughout the night, and it'll be interesting seeing some scores. And I think even looking at this one, you see Peyton Falzone there at midfield, with the broken clavicle on his non-throwing arm. People look at this like, well, he's not playing. So, but we saw what we saw last week, so you really don't know. And I think for Coach Monsman, that, like you said, is a big concern.
It is, because you don't know. Now, Coach Falzone said coming in, we prepare both quarterbacks as if they're both going to start. So Cooper Matson and Peyton Falzone going into last week's game, both prepared and both got reps as if they were going to be the starter. Now, in this situation, Coach Monsman never got to see Cooper Matson other than that one half. You just don't know, was the playbook shrunk down in that second half? It kind of seemed like early on it was, and then it began to open up little by little by little. But it's the running game. You don't quite know what that running game is, what he will do running-wise. That's going to be the key. He can hand the ball off. He can throw the ball very well. But what will he do in the running game for Nazareth? How will he make his mark tonight that way?
And time will tell, and we'll wait and see how that is. Al DiCarlo, Matt Avancho, Sidney Mahalik, a Nazareth Jr., Dave Micah Jr. down on the field as well. Sean Riley, Sports Fan Base Network, and the crew out and about on a gorgeous evening here at Nazareth. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this for sure. I mean, we are deep into September, and it's still 70 degrees at kickoff.
And it's a picture-perfect night for football.
So week 5, battle of unbeaten teams. Owen Hall has it on the tee here from Andrew Esley Stadium. So glad you could join us here. Our D11sports.com game of the week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. And that will be fielded at the 10-yard line by Naz Adams. And Adams gets to the outside and has some space. And then he finally gets taken around. There's a flag thrown late. So maybe not the way you want to start here.
Now, from where that's coming from, you're looking at probably holding or a block in the back against Parkland.
So a good run back, but that changed everything right there for them to start. Tim Monsman his 10th year. Tom Falzone in his 12th year. Tom Kickline is your referee tonight. And they'll start things off from their own 30. And they're going to go to Adams. Adams tries to make the turn and really nowhere to go. He just saw blue jerseys in front of him. And let's take a look at the Starting lineup brought to you by JFR Salvage for the Parkland Trojans.
You got to look at Nas Adams. He's one of the playmakers on the outside for Parkland. But Finn Cohen, he's come into his own right for Parkland this season. He's starting to develop confidence. He's starting to take charge of this offense. And once he gets going, I think all the guys around him build and thrive off of that confidence, and they only get better and better.
Cohen going to throw. Comes to the sideline, and that one is incomplete. And with that, we'll bring in the defense for the Nazareth Blue Eagles.
And you said we had Nazareth last week against Freedom. We thought up front, their front defensive group, those front seven, were going to get outmatched by the size and physicality of Freedom, but it was the complete opposite of that. This Nazareth front was able to get into gaps, get into holes, and make plays at the line of scrimmage and in the backfield.
So 3rd down and 12. And everybody thinking they were going to go ground. Instead, they go air on both plays. Cohen looking to throw. Here comes the pressure. Just floats one out and completes the pass, but really nowhere to go. And a quick 3 and out as the catch was made by Jude Rouge.
And coming in from the secondary was number 0, Tanner Zelichowski. He makes that open field tackle. If he doesn't make that tackle, Parkland has the opportunity to pick up a first down.
So a quick 3 and out for the Trojans. We'll give Nazareth the football for the first time, so we'll get a good look when they do to Cooper Matson. Grayson Donchez. And we'll probably get a positive bounce. He does. And this one will roll inside the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. Your starting lineup is brought to you by JFR Salvage, full-service scrap metal recycling company serving the Lehigh Valley for nearly 50 years. JFR Salvage will pay you cash for all grades of scrap metal, including iron, steel, copper, brass, aluminum, stainless, and junk vehicles. Competitive pricing and superior service are just a few reasons you choose JFR Salvage for your scrap metal needs. Please visit their website, jfrsalvage.com, or one of their locations in Wind Gap or East Stroudsburg. It's copper, but this is Cooper in Matson. And by the way, he's 6'2", 165 coming in. And they'll toss that one over to Wimberly. And Wimberly bounces off his own player and then nowhere to go. And we'll bring in the offense here for the Nazareth Blue Eagles. Again, usually they go pretty fast. We'll see if that changes or not. And obviously a lot of pressure is going to be on Wimberly tonight.
And obviously Wimberly, you see there, one of the ways to get him the ball in various formats. But the guys up front, they have been able to protect Peyton Falzone, and now their job is to protect Cooper Matson tonight against Parkland.
So Wimberly goes straight up the middle, but a host of white jerseys there as well. And we will pop in the defense for the Parkland Trojans. I think we're going to be busy tonight as well. We'll get the Parkland defense on after this play.
And it's going to be key here tonight with both the guys we featured, TJ Lawrence and Marcus Wimberly. They both play both sides of the ball. Who's going to be able to withstand tonight's kind of a little bit warmer than normal at this point in time? Who's going to be able to handle that and get through 4 quarters?
Well, I'll tell you what, Wimberly made a great catch because that went right over the defender. It could have been some damage there, but instead enough effort to lead him and end up pushing forward to get that first down. Marcus Wimberly, pretty impressive.
And he has some blocking out in front in Zelichowski as well as DiPietro. And you see the defense, the front, Martrich, Diaz, and Dorsey and Carr, they're going to have to get pressure on Madsen and disrupt his timing.
So DiPietro with a quick toss play. Inside 9 minutes, opening quarter, no score. First possession for the Nazareth Blue Eagles. So a pickup of about 3. 2nd down and 7 for Matson. Matson looking to throw. And now he's going to run with it. And it'll be short of the 45. Let me put it right on the 45-yard line. He was hesitant there for a second if he was going to go or not, looking for a little seam.
You're right, and it's a lot of what we saw last week against Freedom, the same kind of offensive sets. But right now, Nazareth has kept the ball short for the most part. with Cooper Madsen. And I think if they can, they want to try to get the ball deep early on and let him kind of get those nerves out and let him fall into place and play the game from his own perspective then.
Third down. Here comes Parkland. And Madsen tries to avoid getting sacked and avoided a couple players, but then in the end, a number in there including T.J. Lawrence. Also in there was Jaron Sanchez.
Coming into the game for Parkland, they have to get pressure on him, and you're seeing that they're bringing pressure from various angles, various points of the field. They're going to try to keep Cooper Madsen confused throughout the early parts of this game and try to get their offense rolling.
So a quick drive there for the Blue Eagles will give Parkland the football back. Parker Kalinowski is your punter. And they're going to get a flag, and they're going to get the football back here. There's Naz Adams, makes the turn, and Adams down inside the 45 across midfield, and Adams still on his feet inside the 40 down to about the 38-yard line. But, Matt, you saw what everybody else saw.
Yeah, unfortunately for Parkland. And they were able to get very close last week against Pleasant Valley a few times, as well as block one. But that time just getting a little bit too aggressive early in the game, and they go after him. And unfortunately, they hit the punter, which is going to give Nazareth the first down and the ball back.
Well, Matt, if it's a 5-yard penalty, that ball should be measured, correct?
If it's a 5-yard penalty,
that's not a first down.
It's not a first down. So we're going to have fourth and looks like 3.
So what are you thinking here, Matt? So fourth down and about 3.
And I think Coach Falzone's trying to get an explanation. It looks like the punt team's still coming out on the field. It's interesting. He wanted to go for it. He wanted that opportunity, but just doesn't feel like he is in the right spot. But trying to get an explanation from the official about why it wasn't roughing.
Well, Kalinowski will let this one fly and hangs up there for a while. And trying to stay on his feet, move along, was Jackson Giroulo. And Parkland will come out here for their second possession. Your thoughts here early on, middle part of the first quarter?
Well, I think it's both teams trying to feel each other out and try to see what they are trying to do. Both defenses come into the game playing very well, and yes, they start the game playing very well. Unfortunately for Nazareth, it looks like Matt Laluga comes off the field injured after that punt.
Well, that's not a good sign. They need Laluga in this game already. You know, without your quarterback now, one of your key receivers. So Cohen will go to the ground. T.J. Lawrence didn't even have the ball in his hand, and Wimberley was on the attack.
I had just mentioned earlier about how Parkland is going to bring pressure from various areas. One thing Nazareth did last week against Freedom, and they start to do it here, you see it on that play, is Marquez Wimberley, the free safety. They bring him up to the line of scrimmage probably almost 50% of the time, if not more, and blitz him, and he makes a lot of plays at the line of scrimmage or in the backfield because of that.
Now trying to go to the far side, and has a lot of space, and still on his feet, and he's going. One man to beat, and gets inside the 25-yard line, down to the 23. So Finn Cohen, you know, you're talking about he's going to throw, but he can also run the football. And he got himself in a little groove there.
And what you're going to see when you look at this play, it's the play action. It's the putting the ball in the belly of T.J. Lawrence. He pulls the ball out, and the Nazareth defense is still looking at Lawrence as if he has the ball.
So monster pickup there for Cohen, and then a flag on the snap as they go right back for it. So Cohen with a huge pickup, about 45, 50 yards, and that puts Parkland right in position. You know, Matt, we talked about, going in the game, a lot of people are thinking, all right, it's going to be run all night. But, that was a run, but he can throw, and he's starting to get in that feel and that groove. And we talked to Coach Monson about Finn Cohen. So from the 29, and Cohen going to take it again, and Cohen finds a little seam and get inside the 20-yard line.
And when you look at the two lineups, I mean, you have T.J. Lawrence on one side, you have Marquez Wimberly on the other. They kind of balance each other out. Then you have Nas Adams on one side, you have DiPietro on the other side. They kind of cancel each other out. So then who's the third options that are coming in? It's both Finn Cohen and Cooper Matson. Who is going to be the player that makes most of the plays for their offense to get them on over the hurdle into the end zone?
Lawrence gains a couple, but pulled down from that first down marker. Cooper Weinrich will bring him back. We're at the 4:35 mark of quarter number 1. Now I'll bring up a third down. And flying through and moving the chains. Is Liam Spang. Spang at 6 foot, 160-pound senior. And Parkland going quick here. People maybe not expecting the Trojans to go quick here. And on the ground they go again, spinning through, still down inside the 5, down to about the 4-yard line. And a solid run by Lawrence, inches a little closer.
Parkland running from the 2 tight end wishbone set, and they're going quickly so that Nazareth can't sub. They can't make any adjustments, and you kind of get them out of their play and out of the ability to get calls in.
So Lawrence goes in for the touchdown.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot more of that as the game goes on. You get a lead block by Spang. You get a lead block by Sanchez, the fullback. You have your 2 tight ends and the offensive line opening up the hole. Having that set for them can help them nullify the speed of Nazareth. They know their point of attack. They're going to overload at the point of attack, and they're not going to allow that speed, any kind of seam, any kind of gap to run through. So I expect to see Parkland in that set a lot more throughout the rest of this evening.
Yeah, when you look at it, though, and look at that drive, everyone's expecting, obviously, Nazareth to go quick, but it was Parkland to go quick. Did that catch them by surprise?
And I think it caught them by surprise, but I think the biggest thing was the adjustment of, let's go quick so that we can't allow Nazareth to make any kind of adjustments. Don't let them get their calls in. Don't let the coaches talk to them. Don't let them get anywhere where they can get comfortable against that set.
So glad you could join us. Our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Al DiCarlo, Matt Avancho. I want to thank Ray Romella for his hospitality up here in the booth. And the Trojans lead by a score of 7-0. So this is fielded at the 2-yard line. And that's Zurcher. And Zurcher gets right across the 25 up towards the 26-yard line. And we'll see the Nazareth offense come back onto the field. This will be their second possession at 3:50 on the clock. Heck, this time last week, I think there was like 35 points scored, right?
There were quite a few. And we have another flag on the field.
They're going to call a holding here on the Blue Eagles. So we've seen our share of penalties so far.
And that's 2 penalties, or 1 against Nazareth, a couple against Parkland. This looks like it hurts Nazareth probably more because of how it puts them deep into their own territory.
Here's Zurcher, makes the catch and a little bit more, and they take him to the ground. So all that, they get it back and get the first down.
And still, you're looking at Nazareth, because of the pressure of what Parkland is bringing, and they're getting free guys coming through, Nazareth's going to have to get the ball out of Madsen's hands quickly.
Well, right now his go-to receiver, you had mentioned before, Laluga came out, and now Zurcher's getting, more looks his way.
And that was Zurcher at quarterback. Coach Falzone had said, we asked him, who's the next guy in?
Mm-hmm. He said, you'll see.
He said, you'll see early on. So I guess we're seeing it's Zurcher who completes that pass to Zelichowski for the short gain.
Wimberly tries to jump off a defender, no one there. Matt, talk about Tanner Zelichowski. What we saw from him last week was impressive.
It was, and it was partly him making athletic plays, but also Coach Falzone put him in some great spots last week. Coming from where he's at right now in that trip set, he was the inside receiver. He was able to bend across the formation to the opposite side of the defense, and there was a lot of space for him last week.
They're down and 5. The ball sits at the 36-yard line. Matson looking to throw. Has time, and that's his first long pass. He overthrew him by, a bunch, but you see his arm and delivery there.
Absolutely. I think, unfortunately for Nazareth, the fact that Parkland saw that film last week, you have to think they're not going to let Zelichowski or the offensive wide receivers get behind the secondary or find empty space. They're going to try to be able to defend all parts of the field.
Yeah, and we saw it last week on a couple of pass plays. I mean, I may have caught a ball last week. There was a lot of opening. Well, maybe not. And Parkland goes for it again, and this time they'll get it. And putting that in is Dominic Martrich.
And they were just close. Like I said, they were close last week, and then they were able to get one. They were close on the first punt. This time it's just a matter of timing, a little bit slow in the backfield. And it's Martrich who gets the block and then picked up by Martrich to run it in for the touchdown. Yeah, that puts Parkland in a good spot early in this game.
So Donchez with the extra point. And Matt, take us back to that play. Obviously, they almost got him the first time, and well, they did, and then it was a penalty. But this time they get it.
And that's hats off to Coach Monsman and his coaching staff. They obviously saw something in film where they felt they could get there. I hate to say it and hate to, kind of just stay on this topic, but Peyton Falzone, usually Nazareth's punter, you have a new punter in there, speed slows down a little bit. That's something that Coach Falzone and Nazareth's going to have to talk about. How can we get him to speed up his steps and get that ball out of there quicker if they're put in that punt situation again?
Ball to kick for the Trojans. Zurcher and Wimberly back in for the Blues.
We'll look at that block punt after this kickoff. And it'll be Zurcher from his 6. And Zurcher has a little seam on the far side if he can get there. Now turns upfield. And no flags this time here on the kick. And let's take a look at that.
And as you look at this and you see the replay, it's Parkland's bringing pressure from the Nazareth right side, defensive left. You're going to see Martrich come in, and you're going to see the other defensive end and an outside linebacker come. So 3 of them are there.
Martrich, he may have gotten the
the
block and brought it in. Yeah,
yes.
It looks that way.
It looks like he got
Sean
both.
told us that, but I don't usually listen to Sean. But so that was all Martrich on there. Sitting next to him was Naquan Thomason. Yep.
3 guys right there getting pressure on that punt.
Far side, and the completion made into the hands of DePietro, and Parkland with a quick stick. And Naquan Thomason was in the mix. The game that we did earlier this year, he had a great game coming in for TJ Lawrence. So 2nd down and 6. And Wimberly tries to get to the outside. Not much there. It'll be a 3rd down again coming up here for the Blue Eagles. So Parkland leading.
And you see a lot of touches, as we said, for Wimberly, touching the ball a lot in different areas. But getting him the ball in space is going to have to be something to look at. And we talked about Nazareth's speed and their ability to get out in the open and make people miss. Parkland has been matching that speed so far this evening.
Matson looking to throw. And Lawrence, you talked about him earlier, he hit exactly when Zelachowski was making that catch and knock it away.
And the difference was last week Zelachowski was behind those linebackers.
Mm-hmm.
This week, TJ Lawrence keeping those receivers in front of him. He's able to make that play at the perfect time because Zelachowski was right at the 1st down marker. He catches that, he's getting a 1st down for Nazareth.
If you're Parkland, you keep coming here, right?
I think you do, but it looks like they're going to play safe and try to set up a return and trust your offense. Get them on the field and get the ball going that way.
Kalinowski will get the roll, and they'll go to Adams from the 35-yard line and knocked out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. At Messinger Agency, protecting what matters most to you just got more affordable with newly reduced rates. There's never been a better time to switch to Allstate. Call or text us at 610-382-7095 for your free quote, or simply scan the QR code to get you started. You're in good hands with Allstate, 610-382-7095. As far as the game's concerned, a 4-yard touchdown run by TJ Lawrence, a 40-yard block and fumble recovery by Dominic Martrich, and Parkland leads 14-0. And trying to take it himself was Cohen, but nowhere to go. He just got crunched up immediately on the play. A couple guys in there for Nazareth, including Salapriel.
It looked like there was something in the backfield that wasn't quite right on that play. And then Cohen just decided to tuck it under and run and just save what he could in yardage.
No, they're not going to run another play here. Parkland getting those 2 touchdowns. We will wind it down here in quarter number 1. And Nazareth trailing by a score of 14-0. Parkland leading and with the football as the horn sounds. You're watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Everyone has a story, and your smile is the best way to tell it. It shows your confidence, greets new friends, and opens the door to new possibilities.
St. Luke's OMS offers all-on-4 dental implants, a revolutionary solution to help you regain your smile.
Dental implants are a minimally invasive procedure that provides a permanent alternative to traditional dentures that will give you immediate results and enhance your quality of life.
Get the smile you deserve with St. Luke's OMS. Contact us today.
Stay active. St. Luke's Orthopedic Care will get you back to doing what you love. With locations near you, including St. Luke's Orthopedic Hospital West End campus, the best place for orthopedic care is always close to home.
We're back, second quarter action. Al DiCarlo alongside Matt Evancho. So glad you could join us. Keith Roller, by the way, morning call, sitting right next to us. Always great to see Keith. Kegger in the house. Your thoughts first quarter?
it's a couple plays, a couple big plays. Parkland had the big run by Finn Cohen. They had the block punt by Dominic Martrich. And that's the difference in this game right now. Both teams playing well defensively for the most part. It's Nazareth's offense just not in rhythm just yet, but you have to expect that to happen pretty soon.
Well, Lawrence found a seam on the sideline and got a nice block. Good job in front of him by Ben Mole. And he will move the chains.
And you'll see Parkland get right back on the ball to try to catch Nazareth again.
So that last one was a first down brought to you by Ironton Auto Body.
And I think right now you're going to get a unsportsmanlike penalty against Nazareth for tackling them well out of bounds.
So Parkland leads by a score of 14-0 here as we start quarter number 2. So get the penalty on Nazareth and add 15 more, and all of a sudden they're inside the red zone right around the 18-yard line.
And as we said, if you're Parkland, I don't think you veer away from this offense. You're controlling the clock, 1, keeping the ball out of Nazareth's hands, 2, and you're getting big chunks of yardage on the ground.
They'll fake it to Lawrence, and here's Cohen. Cohen looking towards the end zone. There's a flag on the play as that one pops up and incomplete. Let's see what this flag is.
It looks like it's going to be a holding call. Holding against Parkland.
So you get 15, move that way, and now you get 10 going this way.
I believe what happened, Nazareth decided to bring Wimberly on a blitz, and the Parkland offensive player just grabbed him and pulled him to the ground.
So Parkland will go back at it, and they'll stay on the ground. Spang tries to make his way through some traffic. Again, everybody's a little stunned, I think, earlier when Parkland went fast. Don't know if you'll see that in this drive. It was just the way that drive was going.
And it looks like they're just going to continue to be on the ball. I don't know if they're going to be in such a hurry, but just on the ball and get ready to go.
No, they got second down here for Parkland. Cohen pitches it back to Lawrence at the last second, and Wimberly saw Lawrence coming from the back. Lawrence still moving. That's a great battle between those two, isn't it?
And that's the speed of Wimberly. He's able to come from the backside and chase down Lawrence on the opposite side of the field. But, again, like you said, Lawrence showing a lot of strength, a lot of ability, kind of carrying Wimberly for a few extra yards.
Again, Parkland can get a first down without a touchdown. Another flag thrown.
Now here you're going to get a hold on Parkland. It looks like he just dragged down Bendekovitz as he was firing through the gap.
Sure, Coach Monson frustrated right now with those holds, right?
I'm sure he is, but at the same time, you continue to keep your offense on the field.
Yep.
I mean, obviously he wants to get points, but the clock continues to run, and it continues to just go in the favor of Parkland right now.
So ball pushed back to about the 25-yard line. Third down here for the Trojans. Cohen looking to throw, and he will go towards the part of the end zone, and we'll get him. He's got Lawrence Perfect pass by Finn Cohen to Lawrence for 25 yards. Take a look.
And it's Cohen finding Lawrence on the upper part of the field. And it looks like there's a lot of hand fighting, but I don't think anything that is necessary to be called. I think the officials did a great job and just let the kids play. Lawrence had him beat and was behind him, and Cohen put the ball where only his guy could catch it.
Extra point is up by Donchez, and Parkland leads by a score of 21-0 after the touchdown.
And I think right now, if you're looking at this, the Nazareth sideline and the Nazareth stands are stunned. This is not the way they thought this game would go early on, and by no means is this anywhere close to being over.
No. When it comes to towing, trailer, or auto body repair, experience matters. Let Ironton Auto Body put their 70-plus years of experience to work for you. Locally owned and operated with 24-hour emergency towing and recovery services, along with 24-hour trailer repair. When something goes wrong, don't trust it to anyone. Look no further than Ironton Auto Body. Let our family take care of your family. Call 610-799-3241. Northampton leading Whitehall 21-0. And this one will bring the ball back. And Zurcher again. And it'll bring up the offense for Nazareth once again. JFR Salvage is a full-service scrap metal recycling company serving the Lehigh Valley for nearly 50 years. JFR Salvage will pay you cash for all grades of scrap metal, including iron, steel, copper, brass, aluminum, stainless, and junk vehicles. Competitive pricing and superior service are just a few reasons to choose JFR Salvage for your scrap metal needs. Please visit their website at jfrsalvage.com or one of their locations in Wind Gap or East Stroudsburg. I want to thank Anthony Graziani, who played at Penn Argyle, played at Lehigh, and obviously the owner there at JFR Salvage. On the ground. So what are you seeing from the Trojans right now? The defense or the offense, or a combination of both?
The easy answer is a combination of both, but I think it's the defense right now that's doing the most damage. They're not letting Nazareth get into any kind of rhythm. They're getting a lot of space. They're taking a lot of space and getting into the backfield, and their speed currently is what I think has been the difference in this game. It's just getting to the ball, and it doesn't matter where Nazareth has the ball. You see 2, 3, 4 Parkland defenders in the area ready to make a tackle.
Yeah, inside 10 minutes. Parkland leading by a score of 21-0. So here's Matson looking to throw, and he'll get over to Wimberly. And when we talked to Coach Motzman, he gets taken down. He said, we got to watch Wimberly wherever he goes, because obviously he's a change maker, right, what he does. And they know no matter what, someone's watching one side, someone's watching the other side.
Absolutely. You see there, you have one guy come up. He takes takes a shot at the tackle. He misses, but then you have 2, 3 guys behind you ready to clean up on that tackle, so you can take that chance.
Last week, I don't think we saw a punt in a long time by Nazareth. Kalinowski. Pressure on Kalinowski. He'll let this one go. And they will try to return it from the 35. It's Adams. Adams has a lot of room and a lot of white jerseys in front of him on the far side. Adams gets across midfield. And Adams still on his feet, still going downfield. It skips and gets down. And we get down inside the 5-yard line, down to about the 3 as he tiptoed down the sideline. But, boy, you knew if he was getting on that side, there was a lot of blockers in front.
Parkland had the wall called to their sideline, and you could see right from the get-go, Naz Adams, he gives ground backwards to break that first tackle, get past him, and then he has a wall, like you said, a wall of blockers in front of him. And unfortunately for Parkland, they just had them clumped up too much. They weren't able to spread down the field to get some extra lead blockers, but Naz Adams, a great return, putting Parkland inside the 5 and ready to just take this game and put it away.
And driving right on through for the touchdown is Liam Spang. So Spang gets a touchdown from 4 yards, and Parkland right now rolling 27-0.
And you see that same double tight end wishbone set, and just a matter of getting behind the blockers, getting behind Sanchez, getting behind TJ Lawrence. Spang fouls him into the end zone for a short touchdown. You see Spang is the halfback to the right. He fouls, gets a good block from Sanchez as well as TJ Lawrence, and doesn't get touched till he reaches the goal line.
Extra point is good. So Parkland leading by a score of 28-0. And now all of a sudden, we're not even near halftime yet. Still 8 minutes. You're in a danger zone if you're Nazareth right now.
You are. And again, this is the first week without your starting quarterback, and there's a long season left. You know, by no means, like I said, by no means is this over, because I do think a couple years ago we did Nazareth Parkland.
Yep.
Parkland got off to a huge start, our big lead, and then in the second half Nazareth came back and it was a completely different game. So you know some things are going to happen in the locker room at halftime, but they do need to get something going offensively right now. They need to get something where they can get the ball moving, get their defense off the field, and potentially get some points on the board.
Another flag. No wait on that one. Tonight's game brought to you by Stu's Tire Center, located at 3930 Independence Drive in Schnecksville. In need of new tires or wheel alignment or an oil change, stop by Stu Tire Center or give them a call at 610-799-4298. Locally owned since 1981. D11sports.com thanks Michael R. Globus, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley and Easton, for his sponsorship of the Game of the Week. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Globus at 610-559-6380, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. Zurcher from his own 3, almost tripped and went backwards. Instead, he'll return this one, and we'll bring the offense back for the Nazareth Blue Eagles. No matter your sport or position, St. Luke's Sports Medicine can train you to avoid injury, and if you do get injured, we're there with the best athletic trainers, performance coaches, physical therapists, and orthopedic sports medicine physicians and surgeons to get you back on your feet and back in the game. St. Luke's is the region's only varsity team in sports medicine. So Parkland leading by a score of 28-0. Peyton Falzone walking the sidelines. Here's Matson. Here comes the pressure again. Matson does a good job of not getting sacked and makes his way across to the 30-yard line. So they'll mark this one, Matt, around the 31-yard line. And you saw, though, he saw it coming and he just avoided it. But Parkland's all over the field right now.
It is. Their front is getting a lot of pressure. But Nazareth tried to put Marquez Wimberly out wide and get him going with his speed down the field. And Matson was looking for him. But Nas Adams of Parkland was not letting him anywhere behind him. He was playing tight coverage.
Matson. This is the longest he's had to throw, and he'll complete it deep. And that's Zurcher with the catch. And that's going to be, we'll move the chains for an Ironton Auto Body first down. He got it, but he didn't get it by much.
Didn't get it by much, but the big thing there was Nazareth's front, Nazareth's offensive line, able to hold up and give Matson time.
Comes to the near side to Petro. DePietro makes the turn and got tripped up after a gain of about 5 or so. Let's see where they mark this one. First guy in there for the Trojans was Jaron Sanchez. 6:45 on the clock and counting here in the first half. And we'll send that one on the far side. And the reception made by Jaden Quach for a Ironton Autobody first down. So a little rhythm here.
Exactly, a little rhythm. And not only that, they're getting the ball out of Madison's hands quickly and out to the perimeter.
They'll go to Wimberly. Wimberly spins through and dives forward and gets down to about the 41-yard line.
And that's probably the best running play they've had on first down tonight. And as you talked about earlier, Nazareth right up on the ball, ready to go, trying to move quickly.
Far side. And Quach pushes forward and gets that extra effort. And will move the chains for another Ironton Autobody first down.
He does a lot of that on his own. Getting the first down, he breaks the first tackle, he eludes another tackler, and then just puts his head down and moves forward.
Shout out to Greg Lay. Always watching, always enjoying. Here, 5:53 on the clock. And the score 28-0, but Nazareth is driving. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. If you're a student from any District 11 school interested in broadcasting, journalism, or photography, check out d11sports.com. Follow your dream, get close to the action, take part in our student internship program. For more information, contact your athletic director, reach out to myself or Dave at d11sports.com. So we talk about this, Matt, right to this point. If you're Nazareth, there's still so much, when I say so much time, Parkland's been doing a good job of managing that clock the way they have, but they're also scoring at the same time after the initial 3 and out. That being said, you're Nazareth, you need to punch this one in here.
You do, and you can't come away from this empty. You have to keep this going and try to get something positive in your direction.
From the 35, they'll come to the near side, complete to DePietro. DePietro powers forward, gets down to about the 30, 29-yard line.
And what they're doing is they're getting off on first down and having very good positive plays, which then allows the Nazareth coaching staff to open up the playbook, and you can run the ball, and it's okay if you get 1 or 2 yards because you're in a manageable third down situation.
Wimberly from the 29, and Wimberly will power forward and keep on moving his legs for another Ironton Autobody first down.
We'll see at what point will Coach Monsman can start to bring more pressure offensively. Defensively, they've kind of been sitting back a little bit more right now. They haven't had that same aggressive style they did earlier in the game.
The ball down to the 21. Matt's in the throw, nowhere downfield, and now looks, and incomplete. He was looking in the direction of DePietro. Ironically, that may have been the most time he's had, but there was no one open.
No, and he had Dominic Martrich barreling down on him, and luckily he gets rid of it right before he's able to make contact.
So we're right around the 5-minute mark. They go trips far side. From the 21. Mattson on the back of his legs and stays on his feet. And incomplete. That was Michael Carr that came in there real fast.
And that's an athletic play by Mattson to elude the sack deep in his territory and get the ball out. But you're right. Carr comes from his defensive end on the bottom of the screen. And they're trying to set up a screen pass, but there's nobody to the right side where Mattson's looking.
Man, it's really easy to go down there, isn't it? He just, but he didn't.
No, he didn't.
That shows what kind of player he is.
And I think you have to think this is 4-down
Yeah,
territory.
I would agree with that. 3rd down and 10. The ball sits at the 21, inside 5 to play, down 28-0. Matson throws, looks, and a one-handed catch. Yes, count that one right to the hands of Matt LaLuga. Wow. LaLuga from 21 yards on the touchdown.
And that's just as LaLuga comes back into the game. This was the first series he was back on the field since getting injured on that punt.
Take a look.
So he's the receiver on the bottom part of your screen, and he gets into the end zone. Matson gives him a chance and makes a one-handed catch going out of the end zone, finishes the catch for the touchdown. And what a great individual play by Matt LaLuga to get Nazareth on the board.
So that comes at the 4:46 mark. 21 yards from Matson to LaLuga on the one-handed catch, makes it 28-6. I think there was a timeout here before the extra point. Parkland called it.
Well, we said 4-down territory. They didn't need those two. They just got it on the one.
Hey, you're right about that. Well, that not only got Matson into it a little bit more, right? He just took a huge hit. Stays up. Maybe that's what he needed too. You know, you get that big hit, and he stayed there, and threw the ball. It was, he avoided the big sack.
And I think what that does for him is it starts to build his confidence. Right? I can play here. I can play in this game. I deserve to be in this game. It doesn't matter how we got here, but we're here. And since we're here, let me go out, let me play my game, and let me get my team going in the right direction and get ready to get into the locker room, make some adjustments, come out at that second half, and make some things happen.
Extra point after the timeout, and that one is missed, and Hall picks it up, and Hall just lets that one loose. And Parkland will lead 28-6. I'll tell you talk about special teams, really, right? We've seen the couple of punts that were, there was a block punt first, but they called a penalty. They get the second time, score a touchdown. Now here, a miscue.
And also a punt return
Yep.
down to the 3. So that phase of the game is definitely currently favoring Parkland.
Yeah, 60 yards on the return by Naz Adams. Glad you could join us here. Week number 5. Looking at Parkland's schedule again, they will be home against Allen next week, at Deerhoof, Central home, at Whitehall, Emmaus home. For Nazareth, at Pleasant Valley. I believe that's a Thursday game next week. Liberty and Becca at home, at Northampton, and Easton at home. So they got a big meat of their schedules coming up for the Blue Eagles for sure. So 28-6 is your score. Hall has it teed up. And the Trojans will try to make a return from the 2. This time it's Thomason. And Thomason at a burst of speed gets across the 30, right around the 32-yard line or so, and the offense will come back out for the Parkland Trojans.
And you have 4 minutes. Just under 5 minutes left in this half. Don't think Parkland's going to sit on this and try to wind it down and take it into the locker room. I think they're going to get moving, try to get down the field, try to score, and get moving as much as possible early on this drive.
So they'll start from the 34, will the Trojans, with the lead, 28-6. Cohen and Wimberly. Wimberly just came in there. Matt, he's quicker than you.
He's quick.
He is quick.
And they're bringing him in. We saw this last week, too.
Yeah.
He up at the line of scrimmage. It's a lot of that zone read, and he's keying on the quarterback. He's looking for him to keep the ball and just trying to get his speed and chase it down from the back.
So Wimberley makes another big play. Second down and long. The first down marker, by the way, is at the 44-yard line. They'll switch the offense a little bit. And they'll keep it on the ground. They had a block in front. And Lawrence gets a chunk of that back up across the 35 to about the 40-yard line.
And you see they go in a shift and they put everybody to the left side of the formation. But Wimberley defensively is on the opposite side. And then Parkland decides to run a counter back to Wimberley, which nullifies his speed. So that's a heads-up play by Parkland offensively.
Blake Nashry is up top. We haven't called his name yet. He wears number 8 for the Trojans. We'll see what happens here on this play. Clock winding down inside, reaching three minutes. Third down and 5 from the 39, and they will keep it on the ground. And Lawrence makes the turn, and Lawrence will move upfield and finally get knocked out of bounds for a Ironton Autobody first down.
For Nazareth defensively, it's the inside guys, the linebackers, the second-level players. They're just not able to get any kind of angle on Lawrence to get him and cut him off. He's able to get to the edge and allows him to pick up this long yardage and first downs.
They fake it to Adams, and Cohen goes absolutely nowhere. He was taken down immediately on the play by Bendekovitz.
We talk about this a lot, too, Al, where you need those plays just to try to keep the defense honest. Keep Bendekovitz, try to hold him in a spot where they can't just run full speed trying to chase things down from the back.
So 2:08 on the clock. Parkland with the ball and the lead. Cohen looking to throw middle part of the field. He gets Adams. Adams makes the turn, cuts the other way. And Parkland in business inside the 30-yard line. And those are the throws by Finn Cohen that Coach Monsman has been talking about. He's starting to find his groove a little bit.
They are, but I think one of the keys is watch Naquan Thompson in the backfield. He picks up Marquez Wimberley on the blitz and does not allow him to get anywhere near Cohen.
And on the ground they go, and picked up off his feet was Liam Spang. So Parkland with 1:40 on the clock and driving.
And they go back to their full house backfield, the wishbone, double tight end, and kind of in a hurry, but at the same time you're not in a great deal of trying to go quick.
They'll call it from the 22, and not fooled there by any means, Austin Christine.
And I think that just had to be a blocking assignment mistake up front because Christine comes through completely untouched and makes the tackle in the backfield.
So the Trojans call a timeout with 1:17 on the clock. And reminder, it'll be a good place here. Jahan Dotson's jersey retirement on October 10th, the 100th anniversary of Nazareth football. He makes his way back here. We saw the retirement or the Hall of Fame induction for Saquon Barkley a couple weeks ago over at Whitehall, and now it's his teammate and former Penn Stater as well in Jahan Dotson.
It was great to see that on Sunday. Saquon Barkley, or Dotson goes in motion, gets a handoff from Hurts, and Barkley's the lead blocker. It's not something you see all the time.
And, Matt, a lot of one-sided games right now. Easton's winning 35-0. Northwestern's beating Lee Heighton 35-0. Northampton's winning big.
Whitehall.
Peaburg's handling their game right now as well. Back to action here. Parkland seeing if they can punch another one in before the half, up 28-6. So they mark this one right at the 25-yard line. They'll go two receivers up top for Cohen. Cohen waits, and Cohen's got a lot of room. And Cohen gets through the first side, and we'll move the chains for an Ironton Autobody first down.
He got just past the first down marker, and that's a big pickup for Parkland. Because if you're Nazareth, you get that stop, you're looking at fourth down. Maybe Parkland tries to go for a field goal. It gives you a better opportunity, but now Parkland's still going. They're definitely going to try to get some points and get this in the end zone.
Absolutely. The ball at the 16-yard line. Cohen takes a low snap, but I don't think he even saw it coming his way. And now he's going to throw the ball. There's a flag on the play. He'll complete it for a touchdown, but we will wait. Reception was made by Jason Brader. And that would have been J.J. Brader's first touchdown this year, if I'm not mistaken. But a penalty will bring it back. So 49 ticks on the clock. Parkland with the ball at the Nazareth 26-yard line. Cohen, here comes some pressure. Middle part of the field he goes, and that's picked off. Intercepted by Wimberly. And Wimberly makes it to the near sideline and powers forward. That's a big INT for number 34.
Definitely is. It does give Nazareth the ball back with a little bit of time left. You have to think they're going to try to go, but Cohen, I think this was an ill-advised throw. I think he pulls it down and he goes. He's trying to throw into some tight coverage to Adams and overthrows him, and there's where Wimberly, he's up on the line of scrimmage blitzing. That time he's back at his free safety spot, makes a good play on the ball, and gives Nazareth an opportunity.
Almost the same position last week. You know, the ball right there, but it was a different kind of scoring here. They're going to come to the near sideline. They'll pass that one over to Laluga, and Laluga will stop the clock and go out of bounds. Matt, not surprised that they're going here.
No, absolutely not. I would expect nothing less. It's just going to be at what point do they decide, yes, we keep going, or all right, let's just take it into the halftime.
Yeah, I think it's when you're runs like this.
And we do have a timeout.
So they'll think about it here. So they get another Ironton auto body first down. This is now second down. Glad you could join us for our D11sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke Sports Medicine. Next week we will be at Bulldog Stadium. Notre Dame, who got their game moved to tomorrow afternoon because of a lighting issue at Catasauqua. It will be Notre Dame and Northern Lehigh next week from Slatington. Tonight's game brought to you by Michael R. Glovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Glovis at 610-559-6380. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. So 26 ticks on the clock. Mattson looking to throw, comes in near sideline again, and will connect with Laluga. He goes out of bounds. Matt, this would be huge. Obviously, it's there's not much time here, but the way they're running it right now, any kind of points, get some momentum going in the locker room.
I agree with you, and I think, like you said, it also plays a huge part in Cooper Mattson's psyche. Having him be able to continue on the drive from last, build on it again here, and if they can get in the end zone, I think that's just going to be a huge boost for him.
Well, he's going to throw one, and that one is incomplete. He was looking into a bunch of white jerseys on the coverage, and it looked like when he threw it, he didn't like his throw in the first place. It didn't come out of his hand the way he wanted it.
It was kind of overthrown for one receiver, but then underthrown for the second. So he kind of just put the ball in between, but fortunate for them, doesn't get intercepted and allows them to come back for another play.
Tosses over, and we'll get Wimberly. Wimberly has a lot of space. There's 8 seconds on the clock. Wimberly down to 6 seconds, And if he scores, it'll count. He goes out of bounds with 2 seconds on the clock. And he gets a crowd roaring here at Andrew S. Lay Stadium.
And you have to credit his athleticism. He catches the ball, turns, is unaware that there's a defensive lineman at his feet. You get a good look at this. It's going to be a screen. He has a defensive lineman. He steps over him as he's turning blindly. Catches some big blocks down the field. And this gives him a chance. That's all you want is a chance.
Hey, I always say to my kids, all you ask for the opportunity. There it is,
there,
right? It's sitting there. You'll get one play, one choice at it to see if you can get right back in the game, get some momentum, and you get the football to come out in the second half as well.
And you look at it, you look at the two teams right now. Parkland probably, you would say, arguably played the better of the two halves. They played almost a near perfect half. They had a couple penalties, but special teams-wise, they were hitting well. Defensively, they were all over the place. Offensively, they were doing what they want. And Nazareth on the other side, slow start defensively, wasn't able to do a whole lot until recently. But at the same time, all of that doesn't matter when it's all said and done. You leave here, if you get this touchdown, you get some points. You leave here, you get the ball back, you're able to put it into a one-score game, where it was almost one score away from potential mercy rule starting the second half.
Easton leading Emmaus 42-0, rolling along. 28-6 here.
The question is, who do you go to?
Ooh. Now, let's see who's on. This was against Parkland, so give yourself 5 yards. Move it even closer. Again, Matt, it doesn't matter here. You only have one play.
Exactly. It doesn't matter.
Well, what I mean by that is you're not going to get a first down, at 5. You have to score here. But it may change your mindset on the play you're calling.
I will say this. This is one of the areas where Coach Falzone is so creative. Last plays right before the half. And he said he had a few wrinkles up his sleeve, so we'll see if this is one of those times.
Matson fakes it to Wimberly, now throws, and incomplete. They throw a flag. They throw a flag for pass interference. The Parkland sideline not happy one bit. And we'll take a look at it here after this call. Take a look one more time.
As you said, fake to Wimberly. He sees Laluga. It's hard for us to see. It does look like the right hand, the right arm is draped around him.
All right,
so one on time down.
So you're at the 15. You move to the 10. Now you move to the 5.
And you have another shot.
Yep.
So timeout for Nazareth.
Now everything that you think of, from the 15, you drive down there. I think this drive started with like 37 seconds or whatever it was. And
it did, yes. After the interception, you had about 37, 36 seconds left. And now you're at the 5-yard line with one on time down.
And you talked about it before for Matson. It's a confidence builder going into the half, driving there. I mean, obviously scoring changes the whole dynamics of this game, knowing that you get the ball coming out of the half and really just changed everything.
And then put on top of this, they do score. Nazareth does score. You have to think they're going to go for 2.
Mm-hmm.
So now, if you're Coach Falzone and you're the offensive coaching staff for Nazareth, you have to have that thought in the back of your head. Okay, what is my 2-point play now? I have this one on time down. I have to get in the end zone. But let's prepare. Let's prepare. We're going to score. What is going to be our 2-point play?
All right, so the ball sits at the 5-yard line. So Chowski's in the backfield, too. They got everybody there. Everybody's thinking Wimberly here. Will it be Wimberly? From the 5. They fake it to Wimberly. Matson gets pressured, throws it in traffic, and the ball's in the air. And that's the Trojans. I think coming out of that pile was Jeremy Jean-Baptiste. So Baptiste looks like he made that play. We'll take a look at it before we go to break. to see it one more time, but I think it was
believe it was Baptiste.
Baptiste that made the big play there for Parkland. Take a look.
And again, credit Matson for the athleticism. It is number 3, Baptiste. He comes off his receiver. He has to be careful there at the end, spiking the ball right in front of the official, because you don't want to give your team, give the opponent another untimed down, or just any kind of penalty that's uncalled for.
All right, I'm looking down. We're not going to Coach Falzone as he goes in the locker room, but we'll wait. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back. You're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
Everyone has a story, and your smile is the best way to tell it. It shows your confidence, greets new people, and opens the door to new possibilities. St. Luke's OMS offers a revolutionary dental implant solution to help you regain your smile. The All-on-4 procedure provides a permanent alternative to traditional dentures for individuals who have lost all their upper or lower teeth. The benefits of our All-on-4 are experiencing immediate results, often receiving your new teeth on the same day as surgery, improving daily activities such as eating, speaking, and smiling, leading to a better quality of life, long-lasting and stable implant design, providing a secure fit that dentures cannot. The All-on-4 procedure is minimally invasive, reducing recovery time and discomfort. Our OMS team members are experts in oral surgery and specialize in this type of rehabilitation, ensuring a safe and effective process.
St. Luke's OMS helped me get my smile and confidence back.
Once you have your new smile, our OMS team will continue to support and care for you to promote a smooth recovery. Get the smile you deserve with St. Luke's OMS. Contact us today.
With no through DNA Answers, a community health research program available through St. Luke's. Learn how your DNA impacts your health and if you are at risk for certain cancers and hereditary high cholesterol, a cause of heart disease. Gaining a better understanding of your genetic health risks can help you and your doctor personalize your care for a healthier future. Health insurance is not required to participate. Learn more at DNAanswers.org.
We are back here at Andrew S. Lay Stadium. Glad you could join us. 28-6 is your score in favor of Parkland. Nazareth 5 yards away from punching it in. They could not do it at that time, but it was a big play by Baptiste, who made it, and he made the INT. And then there was a flag thrown at the end of that play, so that'll be assessed a little bit later on as well. And, you know, we talk about this game and being one of those games where, you know, Cooper Matson's making really his debut. His father not only, you know, was a coach here, played here. He's the Parkland superintendent as well. And we're waiting for him now to see if they can connect. Well, right now, you know what? We'll pause here and we'll go down to the band and watch the Parkland High School marching band. And interesting, because we were going to wait for Matson, the superintendent. He wants to watch the band, and he went over and he saw a couple of the Parkland guys right there. So he's mingling in at the same time, catching some people off guard. So halftime enjoyment here, the Parkland High School marching band.
And now, under the field direction of drum majors Andrew Rivera, Adeline Sistronk, and Hallie Colibroy-Whitmire, put your hands together and get ready to rock as the Parkland High School Trojan Marching Band presents Gaga. Parkland High School Trojan Marching Band.
All right, we're back here. Great job by the Parkland High School Marching Band. Right now we go down to the field. Sydney with a special guest.
I'm here with Mark Madsen, Cooper Madsen's dad, and superintendent of Parkland High School. How are you feeling tonight about Cooper's first start as quarterback?
Well, certainly as a dad, you're a little bit nervous coming in, but I know that his team, has rallied around him, and they put a lot of work in this week, and they got a great coaching staff and a great support system. So, he's settling in a little bit.
Yeah, that, and also I know Peyton's been helping him a lot, coming after practices, helping extra. How do you feel just about Parkland in general with the game tonight and just since you work there?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Peyton's been unbelievable with Cooper, even before he got hurt. They're good buddies. He's been a great mentor to him. And, this is a great environment for high school football. Look around. We got two of the best programs. Coach Monsman does such a great job over there with Parkland. Great kids, great community, not only in football but about our sports program. We just waited, our marching band, how wonderful they just performed. So, in that regard, it's a great thing. But it's certainly, a tough night family-wise.
Definitely. All right, back to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Sydney. Talking to Mark Madsen, the father of Cooper Madsen, former coach here, player, and the superintendent at Parkland High School. So a little tough for him watching, but he's enjoying it at the same time. He got a chance to see the band, was giving some high fives, some of the players as well. And right now, though, Parkland leading by the score of 28-6. When the stadium's courts and fields are quiet and the crowds are gone, St. Luke's Sports Medicine is still at work in athletic training rooms, on sidelines and at practices, before games and after games. No matter your sport or position, St. Luke's is on your team with the best athletic trainers, performance coaches, physical therapists, and orthopedic sports medicine physicians and surgeons. Will get you back on your feet and back in the game. St. Luke's is the region's only varsity team in sports medicine. Support for D11Sports.com Game of the Week comes from Michael R. Globus, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley in Easton. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Globus at 610-559-6380, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney LLC, member SIPC. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call 610-616-4430 today. If you're a student from any District 11 school interested in broadcasting, journalism, photography, check out D11Sports.com. Follow your dream, get close to the action, take part in our student internship program. For more information, contact your athletic director or reach out to myself or Dave at D11Sports.com. When it comes to towing, trailer, and auto body repair, experience matters. The Ironton Auto Body put their 70-plus years of experience to work for you. Locally owned and operated with 24-hour emergency towing and recovery services, along with 24-hour trailer repair when something goes wrong. Don't trust it to anyone. Look no further than Ironton Auto Body. Let our family take care of your family. Call 610-799-3241. JFR Salvage is a full-service scrap metal recycling company serving the Lehigh Valley for nearly 50 years. JFR Salvage will pay you cash for all grades of scrap metal, including iron, steel, copper, brass, aluminum, stainless, and junk vehicles. Competitive pricing and superior service are just a few reasons you choose JFR Salvage for your scrap metal needs. Please visit their website at jfrsalvage.com or one of their locations in Wingate or East Stroudsburg. Tonight's game also brought to you by Stu's Tire Center, located at 3930 Independence Drive in Schnecksville. You need a new tires, a wheel alignment, or an oil change, stop by Stu's Tire Center or give them a call at 610-799-4298, locally owned since 1981. Also, at Messinger Agency, protecting what matters most to you, just got more affordable. With our newly reduced rates, there's never been a better time to switch to Allstate. Call or text us today at 610-382-7095 for your free quote, or simply scan the QR code to get you started. You're in good hands with Allstate. That's 7095. Give them a call. Top right-hand corner, there's your QR code. As for your game here, Matt, 28-6. Your thoughts?
It was a quick first half until the last 2 minutes, and then all of a sudden a lot happened with no points. Parkland needs to continue to control that line of scrimmage. They need to get back into that running game and get off first downs positively. They need to get themselves ahead of the sticks where they can just continue to grind out yards, 4 or 5 yards, pick up first downs, move their way down the field. Nazareth, on their last 2 drives, scoring once, getting to the 5-yard line on the other, we're able to get some things done. And it's curious now, offensively for Nazareth, what is Coach Falzone going to do? What are the tricks that he has up his sleeves, some trick plays to get Cooper Madsen the ball out, to get Marquez Wimberly a little bit more involved, and get some points quickly to start this half. And then defensively, they have to do something to adjust to that full house backfield and kind of set the edge, get some guys coming through some seams, some gaps. And it can't just be Wimberly. There has to be some other guys doing that work as well.
No doubt. Taking through the scoring in this one. A 4-yard touchdown by T.J. Lawrence at the 3:58 mark in the first quarter, made 7-0. A big 51-yard run by Cohen. And then Dominic Martrich with a block punt and a recovery. And he scored the touchdown to make it 14-0. That was your score after 1 quarter of play. At the 10:06 mark, a 25-yard touchdown pass from Cohen to Lawrence made it 21-0. Naz Adams then with a 60-yard return. That set up a 4-yard touchdown by Liam Spang to make it 28-0 as we are underway. And this will be fielded right at the 11-yard line by Zurcher. And Zurcher gets popped, and that ball comes out. The ball is loose and on the ground, and Parkland says they had it. We'll wait and see. But that ball just went flying out as they're checking this one right now. And it's Nazareth football, fortunately, for the Blue Eagles. A 21-yard touchdown from Madsen to Matt Laluga on a one-handed catch, made it 28-6. Wimberly, right before the half, had a interception. Take a look one more time, Matt.
You see a good tackle, put the hit on the ball, pops up in the air. Fortunate for Nazareth, they're able to recover that.
And then in the last play of the first half, Baptiste made the interception in the end zone. And we're in the third quarter, and the score is 28-6 Parkland. That being said, Nazareth, the football, you said they go in the locker room. Let's see if they change things. They come trips near side to start things off here against the Trojans. And they'll fake it one way and take it the other way, and that's Zurcher. And Zurcher flies across midfield for an Ironton Autobody first down.
And there's one wrinkle. Put Zurcher at quarterback, bring Wimberly in motion, fake, and then pull a guard, get a lead blocker for him, get him going backside with a big gain on first down.
And that throw is on the ground. They're going to call this, I don't know if this is an incomplete pass. They're going to call it a catch, fumble, and
looks like they're calling it a fumble.
So Laluga picked it up after DePietro got popped.
So it's a rush. Run by
I mean, Laluga wisely picks it up.
Take a look one more time. Yeah, so DePietro drops it.
And it does look like it's going backwards.
Yep. Bodies everywhere, people going everywhere.
Everybody but the center. Lonely feeling.
I always find that interesting when that happens.
Like everybody knew the snap count and forgot to tell him.
Tom Kickline just said it, everybody but the center. All right, so just underway here in the third quarter. A lot of nothing has just happened. Madsen tries to get through. He does, has a block, and will get taken out of bounds, and gets down to about the 48-yard line. And they're going to call it the 49.
And we have another first. Somebody lost their shoe.
See, this is the hard thing. You're trying to put your shoe on that way. I tell my kid he can't do that. It'll never go on. He's going to do that for 2 hours. It's going to try to, stick your foot in there and wiggle. Not going to happen. You got to untie those laces and put it in the right way. You used to put your shoes on that way,
I
right?
still do.
Okay.
I keep them just slightly loose
so you can slide them
in.
Well, he can't keep it that slightly loose. He's playing football. Third down and long. Mattson. Well, Mattson stumbled there for a second. Now he's going to try to get some of that back. And we're seeing it almost like the first quarter where he's pedaling backwards and trying to find someone, but he's not.
And they were trying to set up a screen pass to Wimberly, well read by Parkland. They're right there. They had him covered. He had nowhere to go. He could have continued to look downfield because the linemen stayed at the line of scrimmage. They never went downfield, so they did have that option.
So with that, a quick possession there for the Blue Eagles. And it'll be fielded at the 21-yard line by Adams. Adams likes to get to the outside and does again. Adams has a little seam, gets across midfield, and Adams still moving and finally gets taken down by the 30-yard line. He makes it look so easy.
He does, but at the same time, it's his teammates who are catching good blocks. That time, their wall can maintain spacing. They were able to keep the spacing and able to pick up those Nazareth Blue Eagle defenders, our kick team, as they started peeling back towards the Parkland sideline. They were able to match up with them one by one. So he gets a good lead block, able to outrun one, but you see the spacing and how they're able to, one by one, pick off those Blue Eagles kick team members.
So Cohen again. Oh, all blue jerseys. Lawrence had no chance whatsoever. When we talk about that defense, you talked about right in the open. You see 50 all the time. I mean, he's everywhere. He's swarming. He's everywhere.
And he's one of the main guys that needs to get going for this defense. He's made a few plays here and there, but just consistently tonight, he needs to be a little bit more active.
Cohen gets it off to Lawrence, and Lawrence will get a chunk of that back.
And I don't know if this is a busted play or not, but you had Wimberly coming on a blitz. Lawrence elects not to block him. You see him coming from the left side of your screen. Lawrence stays there, does not block him, but just leaks out of the backfield. Cohen finds him, and that's a huge pickup on second down.
Sure is.
I mean, you talk about everything going your way.
Third down and 4 from the 25. Two receivers up top, one to the near side. Cohen takes a snap and gives it to Lawrence. Lawrence busts through and still on his feet, still running through, and Lawrence is going to go in for the 25-yard touchdown.
And that's just a nice all-around effort by T.J. Lawrence. I mean, he has the offensive line open up the hole for him, which is fantastic, but his ability to maintain his balance, put his hand down, continue to balance himself, and once he gets himself balanced, gets his head back up and able to finish it off in the end zone for the touchdown. And you got to credit number 10 for Parkland, J.J. Breder, downfield blocking nonstop during that touchdown run.
Donchez with the extra point, and it squeaks his way through it. And Parkland increases their lead to 34-6. $35-6, excuse me. Thanks, Matt.
That's why you have me here.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Sean only put 13 on the board earlier, so, I was just getting back there. You do get an extra point for, once you make it, so missed that one.
So this puts us in that weird spot,
yeah,
doesn't it?
I was just
right?
going to say, you're going in at the half. You have almost 3 plays, right, because there's 2 defensive penalties to get a touchdown and then get the ball to start the second half. You don't score. There's an interception by Baptiste. You go in the locker room for 15, 20 minutes. You come back out. You don't move the ball. Parkland scores, and now all of a sudden you're Nazareth. You're sitting at you better score or you're in trouble.
Correct. And what we mean by trouble is if Parkland scores and they – just if they score, there's the mercy rule going into effect.
All right, so this field at the 4-yard line. And Wimberly got through. And Wimberly towards midfield and finally gets taken down right around the 46-yard line. It doesn't take much. You're watching 2 of the better running backs in the area when you look at Wimberly and T.J. Lawrence.
And this is the first return Wimberly has had this game, and you can see why Parkland was electing to kick away from him for the most part. This is the best field position Nazareth has had all night.
Wimberly was playing at Sacramento State. So Wimberly start things off here. Look at some of the scores. Northwestern 42-0 leading easily. Liberty beating Deer right now 35-0.
I think one of the big shockers was Northampton Whitehall. 28-0 Northampton at one point, and then all of a sudden 28-21.
Saquon may have showed up for a couple touchdowns. Looking to throw. Middle part. He likes that part of the field, and he will connect right into the hands of Laluga. Well, that connection's really starting to heat up, isn't it?
And Laluga getting up a little slow after that, but you're right. He's taking his time. He's getting protection. That's the biggest thing. When he has protection, he's able to scan the field. He's able to look at his first option. And if that's not there, he's able to come off to a second option. It's when the pressure's coming, the ability to just maintain poise and continue to keep his eyes down the field.
Zilichowski's been quiet. And Matson, do you remember the Happy Days, the old Malachi Crunch? That's exactly what that was right there. 2 Parkland players just stuffed him down.
One thing Cooper Matson needs to learn as he's maturing into this position the rest of the season is he has to make one move and live with it. He can't make 2, 3 moves
just don't have that time
against these kids. You just don't have that time, and they're going to close down so quick on you. It just has to be that one move, and that's it.
He pumps twice and throws. And that one.
I have to think that his arm was hit while he was throwing because that came up well short of DiPietro.
I'll take a look at it one more time. I think he may have gotten tagged. And if he did, just by a little bit.
You can see how that Parkland defense moving around. T.J. Lawrence in the middle. He's blitzing. And it does look like he got tipped.
Just a little bit. Yeah, you can tell he just came down. So inside 8 minutes. And 3rd down. Looks to throw, and a lot of pressure coming his way.
It was, but the one thing I'll say, I credit Cooper Matson on that play. He kept his eyes down the field. He felt the pocket collapsing around him, but while he felt that, he continued to scan downfield looking for his receivers and just ran out of time.
So here on 4th down and 10 from the 30-yard line, they'll go for it here. And they got to try to see if they can punch in some numbers here to keep this game really going. And he will connect again with Laluga. And Laluga.
Oh, this is going to be close.
This is on the spot.
This is going to be dependent on the spot.
Really is. I mean, our angle is different. It looks like from here he may have gotten it, but let's see where they put this one.
Because it seemed like he was going to pick it up, and then the Parkland defense just collapsed.
And they already gave Ironton automatic first down. They got some keen vision down there. So on the ground they go. Will Bacola gets his first carry, I believe, of the game. Matson looks to throw, and he's coming towards the corner, looking for LaLuga, and that one incomplete. Likes that corner of the field, Matt.
That time Parkland defense in great position, not letting LaLuga get behind them like they did previously in the first half.
So clock stops right around the 7-minute mark. Parkland leading handily at a score of 35-6. Peaburg increasing their lead against Ridge, 28-6. Pumps once, gets hit as he throws, and that one incomplete. And that was LaLuga again. He's shaking up, walking through.
I think that's one LaLuga thinks he should have.
He'll make it 9 out of 10 times. Just didn't make it there. But that was a big one, and it brings up another fourth down here for Nazareth. This is a big, big play here. From the 20-yard line. Nazareth with fourth down at the 7-minute mark. Throws the middle part of the field, and that one is incomplete. Parkland will take over on downs.
I think Matson had LaLuga coming underneath the coverage, but knowing that he was short of the first down, tried to get to DiPietro on the upper part of your screen, who was right at the first down marker, and just overthrows him a little bit.
And thanks to Stu's Tire Center, located at 3930 Independence Drive in Schnecksville. And needed new tires, a wheel alignment, or an oil change, stop by Stu's Tire Center or give them a call at 610-799-4298, locally owned since 1981. So 7 minutes on the clock. And Parkland, they look to punch it in here and make it an easy evening. Now, I'm not sure about the word easy evening, but
definitely not easy, but
probably
quicker than most expected.
For sure. No matter your sport or position, St. Luke's Sports Medicine can train you to avoid injury, and if you do get injured, we're there with the best athletic trainers, performance coaches, physical therapists, and orthopedic sports medicine physicians and surgeons to get you back on your feet and back in the game. St. Luke's is the region's only varsity team in sports medicine. Down to 6:30 and counting, third quarter, 35-6. Trojans from their 20. On the ground they go. And Spang will get that carry. Support for D11Sports.com Game of the Week comes from Michael R. Glovis, financial advisor at Morgan Stanley in Easton. For all your investment needs, call Michael R. Glovis at 610-559-6380, located at 101 Larry Holmes Drive, Suite 301 in Easton, PA. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. So a third down and short. And moving for first down, a Ironton Autobody first down by Thomason.
And I said it before, and I'm going to be wrong because I can see Parkland switching up, but I felt they were just going to be in that set the rest of the evening and just run the clock and just pound the ball down the field.
So down to 5:30 on the clock. And here's Adams. Adams skipped through the defense, gained a couple. Again, look ahead for the Trojans. They'll host Allen at Deerfield and then host Central, their next three. For the Blue Eagles, They'll be at Pleasant Valley Thursday. They get Liberty home, and then at Bethlehem Catholic. Home against Bethlehem Catholic. Their next 3.
Credit Parkland offensively, just finding various ways to get Nas Adams the ball where you're not really putting the ball in danger by throwing it down the field. You're just handing it off to him.
Here's Lawrence, and Lawrence will get out of bounds, about a yard short or so of the first down. That game against Bethlehem Catholic will be the game for the Jahan Dotson jersey retirement on October the 10th.
It looks like it's going to be about a yard and a half short of the first down.
So third down for Parkland, looking to keep this drive going. And wow, bouncing off the defender and making it look really easy is Naquan Thomason for an Ironton Auto Body first down. Again, we saw him earlier this year when T.J. Lawrence got dinged up, and he did a great job. He was our player of the game.
Absolutely, and I think he, in time, is going to get more and more involved offensively for Parkland. And you can see right here how T.J. Lawrence is getting the focus, but it's been Thompson, it's been Liam Spang, it's been Sanchez in the backfield. Just getting the ball to different guys in different ways.
Here's Lawrence, got the pitch, and goes down the far sideline, and Lawrence still on his feet. Finally gets out of bounds inside the 25-yard line for another Ironton Auto Body first down.
And you kind of saw that play start to develop. Once they turned and pitched it outside, you just saw a lot of Parkland defenders out in front set the edge. And more Parkland blockers just showed up to free Lawrence down the field.
So clock stops with 4 and change remaining, right around the 4.5-minute mark. And timeout taken by the Trojans. For over 175 years, New York Life has been helping families and businesses with their life, disability, and long-term care planning needs. Whether you have current coverage in place or in need of reviewing your options, please contact their office in Allentown to find the right plan to fit your needs. Call New York Life at 610-616-4430 today. When it comes to towing, trailer, and auto body repair, experience matters. Let Ironton Auto Body put their 70-plus years of experience to work for you. Locally owned and operated with 24-hour emergency towing and recovery services, along with 24-hour trailer repair. When something goes wrong, don't trust it to anyone. Look no further than Ironton Auto Body. Let our family take care of your family. Call 610-799-3241. JFR Salvage is a full-service scrap metal recycling company serving the Lehigh Valley for nearly 50 years. JFR Salvage will pay you cash for all grades of scrap metal, including iron, steel, copper, brass, aluminum, stainless, and junk vehicles. Competitive pricing and superior service are just a few reasons you choose JFR Salvage for your scrap metal needs. Please visit their website at jfrsalvage.com or one of their locations in Wing Gap or East Stroudsburg. Back to action here after the timeout for the Trojans. So Parkland gets back at it. The ball sits at the 23. They'll go receiver near side, two receivers to the near side. High snap, and they'll put that one on the ground and really nowhere to go. I think it spins up. Again, another carry by Thomason.
Parkland offensively really showing a lot of different offensive sets, going with the 2 tight ends, going with a spread personnel, going unbalanced, using 2 H-backs, really giving all the teams that they're going to face in the second half of the season a whole lot to prepare for.
Mm-hmm. So second down, and again on the ground they go. Oh. Well, Thompson was just almost picked up. And
I think that looked a little worse than what it was. I think it was a matter of he was bringing him to the ground, and Thompson jumps at the same time. it just looked a lot worse than it actually was.
Looked like, to me, it looked like Hulk Hogan taking down Andre Giant. What are you talking about? What's this?
It looks like he's jumping a little.
Yeah. Trying to get out of it and just. So the first down marker inside the 15-yard line for the Trojans. Third down and 11 from the 25. Finn Cohen rolls out far side, throws, has a receiver, and connects for the touchdown. He puts it right into the hands of Blake Nasri. 25 yards. Parkland back in business.
You had mentioned earlier about where Nasri was and how Parkland was still trying to get him his first catch of the evening. But you have to credit these Parkland receivers. First it was Lawrence, and now it's Nasri. They just do a nice job of hand fighting the cornerback and just keeping that spacing. They never let that cornerback close the gap. And then Finn Cohen puts the ball out in front, and the cornerback can't make a play at all on the ball.
Wow. Extra point by Grayson Donchez. And that one is up and through, and things have just changed, my friend.
And I think I'm not the only one who would say this, but this is not the evening I expected coming into this game. Now, that being said, I think it could have gone any way. I think really when you look at it, it wasn't where I felt one team had the overall advantage. I thought Parkland may, just because of the quarterback switch. But for the most part, it's just been Parkland came into this game, and Coach Monsman said it, wanting to prove something. He got on them a couple weeks ago about not really playing inspired, focused football. And I think in the last 2 weeks, we've seen a different team. First against Pleasant Valley and now against Nazareth. This group of Trojans has been focused and, as he said, quiet in the locker room. They're just ready to go out and go about their business.
Well, again, I take it back to the beginning of the year when I talked to Tim Monsman, and I said, how's Finn Cohen doing? He goes, he's doing what he needs to do as we build it. Defense way ahead of the offense, and I asked him tonight, he goes, getting there. He's moving along. And tonight, besides the run that he had, he's had a couple of good pass plays. He's done his part for sure.
Absolutely, he has.
Zurcher from the 2. And Zurcher will get a nice block in front. And Zurcher has some space and gets popped as he throws. The ball got loose. And we'll wait on this one.
I think Nazareth does come up with it. Whether it was a fumble or not, Nazareth comes out of the pile with it.
Zurcher got spun around, it looked like, at the same time. And, Matt, you talked about this before. These two have been in this position before, playing once and then playing later. We live streamed the game.
And I think, and Coach Falzone mentioned it too, he wasn't sure, where would they be offensively right now. It's a quick turnaround, and you can't fault Nazareth just offensively missing their quarterback, missing their guy. And Cooper Matson's going to come in. He's going to do fine. He's shown a lot of bright spots this game, but I think it's going to take a couple weeks kind of for the team to grow around him and for him to grow around the team. And once they get everything going on the same page, I think they're going to be very dangerous.
Yeah, and you're seeing rep after rep and play after play. We've seen it, again, going backwards. They're going to adjust that. They're going to say, listen, and you said before, you got to be committed right away. You're not going to have that much time to do what you want to do.
And keep your eyes down the field. Just be confident in what you're going to do and deliver the ball when you need to.
And we saw that when he almost got sacked and held on to it and got rid of it the last second. Nowhere to go here. Loss of a yard or so. That's Wimberley. Again, next week we'll be at Northern Lehigh as Notre Dame takes on Northern Lehigh. Do I have you next Friday? I don't know if I do or don't.
Yes, you do.
All right.
I will be there.
All right.
Listen, I'll go to Northern Lehigh. That's right down the road from my house. That's right between us.
Matt wants mileage now.
Well, if you're going to pay that.
42-6 is your score. 1:30 on the clock. And they'll float this to Wimberley. And Wimberley tries to get his feet going as he gets towards midfield right around the 47-yard line.
And as I said, I think as Nazareth offensively progresses with Cooper Madsen, I think that's going to allow the offense to get the ball into Marquez Wimberly's hands where the focus isn't necessarily on him and only him. I think you're seeing right now a Parkland defense that's highly focused on where Wimberly is, what is he doing, and we need to find him and we need to make plays on him.
No flags as he looks to the far side, and he was looking towards DePietro. Incomplete. So clock will wind down here as we close out the third quarter. So 42-6 as the Trojans get the only touchdown of the, two touchdowns in the third quarter. 25-yard touchdown run by Lawrence, and a 25-yard touchdown from Cohen to Blake Nashry. As the clock winds down after 3 quarters of play here at Nazareth, it's 42-6, Parkland in control. We're watching our D11sports.com Game of the Week, presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine.
You're determined to stay active and enjoy life. Be at your best every day with St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Start here and we'll get you back to doing what you love. With locations throughout the region, including St. Luke's Orthopedic Hospital West End campus, the best place for orthopedic care is always close to home. St. Luke's Orthopedic Care. Start here, go farther.
Did you know that every year our nation's hospitals are graded on quality and safety? Did you know this information is publicly available? Did you know that St. Luke's has earned 5 stars for quality and straight A's for safety? St. Luke's is the only PA-based health system and only 1 in 3 health systems in the nation to earn these outstanding recognitions. St. Luke's, the only locally based healthcare network serving as a model for the nation.
We are back, 3 in the books, 1 to play. So glad you could join us here from Andrew Esley Stadium, Al DiCarlo, Matt Avant Show. And we start the fourth quarter. Matt, I'll get your thoughts of 3 quarters of play as we are into the mercy rule here at Andrew Esley Stadium after this play. As the Trojans with the football right around midfield. And I'll give that to Thomason. And he'll gain across the 45 down to about the 42-yard line. Your thoughts?
I think we're seeing tonight a very complete game by the Parkland Trojans. And as I said it over and over tonight, I think in time, Nazareth is going to be okay. They're not playing their best tonight. They haven't been their best tonight. But in time, they will be okay as long as they can find an ability to take the pressure off of Wimberly offensively, where it doesn't have to be just him. There could be other players making plays, and that's where Cooper Madsen's going to get better. He's going to be able to find DiPietro. He's going to be able to find Leluga and get Zelichowski more involved in the passing game as well.
Well, we get the high snap there. Nowhere to go. That was Corsa.
And at the same time, I don't think Nazareth has had a fully healthy Leluga after that punt.
I agree.
Where he came off hurt. I think he was okay to go, but I just don't think he's been himself. He made the one catch. You saw him drop the other, and it is some sort of hand, wrist, forearm injury. That's going to play a huge factor in catching the ball.
Hand off to Caleb Corsa. Corsa at 5'8", 175-pound senior. David Sherb, the 5'11", 140-pound sophomore, is in at quarterback. So 42-6, going to throw, and that one incomplete. He was looking in the direction of Donchez,
A miscommunication there because the receiver was blocking the
Yeah, he was.
cornerback.
So 3 and out again. Mercy rules rolling along, so a little bit different. At Messinger Agency, protecting what matters most to you just got more affordable with their newly reduced rates. There's never been a better time to switch to Allstate. Call or text us at 610-382-7095 for your free quote, or simply scan the QR code to get you started. You're in good hands with Allstate. 610-382-7095.
You see a bunch of fresh jerseys. We just saw them in there for Parkland offensively. Now we see Nazareth doing the same.
So on the ground they go. As turnover on downs. That was Bacola.
I don't think both teams will not be in a hurry.
So 8:37 on the clock. And again, Bacola with the carry. Powers forward, gets a little closer towards that first down marker. Maybe about a half yard short or a yard, depending on where they spot it. And, Matt, how important is it? I mean, I know Coach Falzone for a long time. You do as well. You know, you just kind of take all the positives from this game and just move along and saying, we're going to see him down the road.
I think you do, but at the same time, I think he's going to do a nice job of bringing in some of the negatives and pointing out where in the first half, it really, you take away 2 special teams plays and 1 big run, it's 14-6. It's not 28-0 like it was, right? I think it's a different game.
Jay Snyder, 6'2", 200-pound junior. Got popped as, you know, you hate seeing those. He went down and tried to just go down.
He slid, gave himself up, and then got hit by the Parkland defender. That's kind of hard. You know, the defender's coming in, trying to make a tackle, and then all of a sudden the quarterback just drops and slides.
I think the crowd here at Nazareth a little stunned. You know, obviously everyone anticipated this game to be, you know, a monster game with, you know, and Peyton starting and everything like that. And then it all changed last week. You know, the game that we did at BASD Stadium when he got hurt against Freedom. Looking to go to the sideline, flags everywhere, throws that one away.
And where the officials that threw this, it looks like we might have an illegal chop block.
Another quarterback at Snyder stands 6'2", but still has that same long kind of player. Tom Falzone likes those players at quarterback.
Absolutely. That looks like a holding call.
Snyder waits a snap and hands that one off again.
There was just no room for him to run anywhere.
You know, coming into the game, you and I talked to Coach Monsman, and he said, you know, you don't know what to expect. We don't know. I mean, they had the one play, like you said last week, that big bomb. But how much can you learn from that? All right, he's got a good arm. But after that, you really didn't see. So you don't know what they're going to do with him and how developed is he and where is he going to go. And, you know, but you mentioned the big special teams play. Every time I talk to Coach Monsman, you know, they always say the 3 facets of the game. You know, you hear that from coaches, but tonight, that was a huge part of it.
Exactly, it was.
That one bobbled a couple times in the air and knocked to the ground. So Parkland inside 6 minutes, looking to advance to go to 5-0 on the season. Again, some of the scores out there, Matt, you know, well, a lot of blowouts tonight.
A lot of blowouts. And then, again, we said that Northampton-Whitehall score. We'll have to check into that a little bit. It was, I believe, tied 28-28, and then Northampton retook the lead 35-28. But definitely down the road, Easton in a blowout.
They're tied at 35. Snyder goes down.
And Nazareth will punt the ball away. We also had Northwestern Lehigh.
Yeah, big.
Winning big.
Yep.
Phillipsburg winning big.
Blue Mountain, I think it was 35-0 over Bangor. High snap. And the punt favors Parkland. Well, now it goes backwards. And the Trojans right here will try to close it out and move to 5-0.
Yes.
Again, next week, as mentioned, we'll be at Bulldog Stadium. Speaking of Notre Dame, their game moved to, I believe it's 1 o'clock tomorrow against Catasauqua. There was a lighting issue. Talked to Tom Mole earlier today. And they'll look to get that one tomorrow afternoon. You know, we talk about that 3A classification going to be interesting. You know, with Northwestern or Schuylkill and Notre Dame, and, you know, they don't play during regular season, Northwestern and Notre Dame, so we'll see. 42-6. Getting in there at quarterback for Parkland is David Sherb. And Sherb goes on the ground, and he'll give that one to Caleb Corsa. Corsa getting his share of carries. And Parkland will be at home next week against Allen in their matchup.
And we'll see if Parkland, coming into that game, they'll be favored over Allen. But, again, can they stay focused? Can they remain focused and be able to look at what they need to do? They need to get in that game, start off fast, like they did last week. They've done it this week. And I think if they continue to do that and Coach Bonsby can keep this group focused each week, they're going to be a tough team down the road.
Well, you officiated the game last week, and that was done.
It was quick. It was 28-0 in the first quarter.
You called me up and told me you lost 28 pounds in the first 18 minutes.
I did a lot of running in that first quarter.
By the way, we had a camera on you the whole time. We're going to air that during Thanksgiving. Just
that sounds good.
All right. Down inside 2 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock. Parkland taking their good old time right here. And another run here by Corsa. Corsa gets across the 40 to the 42-yard line.
It looks like we might, barring a first down, well, no, they're going to send out the punt team. Nazareth will get one more shot.
That's one heck of a punt. Oh, and how about perfect timing on that?
That was real good timing.
As
he was running down, it was 95. As he was running down there, I thought maybe
Derek
he was going to be too
a 5'8",
early.
140-pound sophomore. Take a look at this.
Just meets it just at the right time.
Coaches will watch that and say, all right, I got my eye on you.
Yes.
Oh. And those have to be absolutely timed, or else you're going to get a huge penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So on the ground they go with Pocola. And I don't know if they're going to run another play. They may try just to run one more play just to get one. But Parkland Trojans come on the road to Andrew Esley Stadium. Know that Nazareth, with the premier quarterback sideline with the big injury, but they took advantage and they scored early enough. Remember, they went 3 and out to start the game, and from there, never looked back. They'll get this last play off, looking to throw, and they'll send that to the far side. And the way the game's been, a big stick at the end of the game, and Parkland wins this one by the score of 42-6. So Parkland improves to 5-0, and Nazareth will fall to 4-1 on the season. And Nazareth will go on the road on a Thursday. They get Pleasant Valley, and Parkland will be at home on a Friday, as they will get Allen. And we'll wait here, see if we can get coach and or player. So 42-6 your score. And I know that Dave's looking for Sydney. They're on the same page. A lot of confusion down the field. They're trying to get their players. Coach Monsman's out there as well. Matt, your thoughts while we're waiting.
There we go.
Oh. And with that, we'll wait.
We grabbed him.
Yep.
Dave deserves a raise.
Yeah, with that, we'll go to TJ Lawrence.
Are we good? All right. I'm here with TJ Lawrence. What are your thoughts on tonight's game?
No, I think we played a great team game. Our game plan was immaculate. We stopped them on defense. We stopped them on defense, and that's all we need.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
That's all we need, I think.
All right, our quick interview there, huh?
Quick interview, yeah.
I was waiting for that one. That one made me sweat. So TJ Lawrence got it done. He did a couple touchdowns, as he had 2 touchdown runs and a touchdown reception as well. And we'll see if we can get coach or not. I'm not sure if we're getting coach yet or not. Waiting for Dave. Matt, you were giving us your thoughts.
Yeah, like I said, I think TJ Lawrence really spoke well there. It was a good team win. It wasn't any one person. It was the entire defense collectively. It was offensively a lot of people. Obviously, TJ Lawrence with the 3 touchdowns, but Finn Cohen threw for 2. Had some huge runs. You have, on top of that, Liam Spang with a touchdown run and some big runs. You have Thomason with some big runs. A lot of people contributed in different ways. Nasri has a touchdown. Nas Adams with 2 really big key punt returns. Just a whole lot went their way, and part of that is they forced it to go their way. They made it happen for themselves. And like I said, I think Nazareth's going to be okay. They have to get through this hurdle tonight, and part of that's going to be mentally. You can see it on their faces. They're not happy with the result, but they faced a good team. They faced a good team, and they weren't at their full go. But I think as the year goes on, they're going to get better, and as they get better, I think they can make some things happen.
Well, I'll take you through the scoring here. 4-yard touchdown run by T.J. Lawrence made it 7-0. That was at the 3:58 mark. And after a 51-yard run by Cohen, Dominic Martrich had the fumble, block, and recovery to make it 14-0. That was your score after 1 quarter of play. 25-yard touchdown pass from Cohen to Lawrence made it 21-0. And then Naz Adams with a 60-yard punt return that led to a 4-yard touchdown run by Liam Spang. Make it 28-0. A 21-yard touchdown pass from Matson to Laluga on a one-handed catch made it 28-6. All right, well, we got Dave Micah. We got a change there. Dave.
All right, we're with winning coach Tim Monsman. Tremendous win tonight. You jumped out early. How important was that tonight?
We talked in the locker room about flipping a switch. We got to start fast tonight. We got the ball early, but I thought we did a good job on the offensive line, and we went to a lot of power stuff. Tried to wear them down a little bit, and then defensively, other than one series, I thought we played great, and then special teams came through again.
And, like you said, your defense really played tough tonight. They just could never get in rhythm all night, it seemed.
Well, they tried a lot of different stuff. A lot of stuff we haven't seen before. We knew we were going to get heavy screen game, short stuff, but I thought our kids came to play. We tackled well, shut the run game down, and that was big to put them in situations.
And talk about your running back, T.J. Lawrence, big night tonight. Talk about his effort.
He's just all-around great football player, a great kid. So, start middle linebacker, running back. He's a horse. And the O-line, did a great job picking things up tonight.
Well, Coach, thank you, and good luck next week.
Thank you very much.
All right, back to you guys.
All right, Dave Micah comes in relief there. Sidney Mahalik, Dave Micah down on the field, getting the thoughts from Coach Monsman at the same time as well. And that will do it for us. Final score in this one, 42-6. Actually, that Baptiste had the interception in the end zone at the end of the half. Third down, third quarter was Lawrence for 25 yards, and then Cohen to Blake Nasri from 25 yards. Final score, 42-6. We wish the best of luck to both teams. Thanks to Sean Riley and Sports Fan Base Network. Thanks for Sydney down the field, and also to Dave Micah for Matt Avancho. We'll see you next week at Bulldog Stadium in Slatington, as it will be Notre Dame and Northern Lehigh. You've been watching our D11Sports.com Game of the Week presented by St. Luke's Sports Medicine. Final score, Parkland 42, Nazareth 6. Have a great night.